What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle the Bearded, and I'm coming at you with another Madden rebuild. We're gonna do the Houston Texans. This is Madden 23. Super excited for this game. They've made a lot of changes to franchise. I think it's for the better. Still got a lot of way to go to make it really good. Um, but I like what they've done so far. Um, so like I said, we're gonna start with the Houston Texans, probably one of the worst teams in the league right now. Um, and they're in a division though that is kind of winnable. You got like two teams at the top, and those teams are kind of middle of the road teams. So um, I think this is one that we could relatively become good relatively quickly within a few seasons. So let's jump into it. Take that back. First thing I do is I kind of go into into my schemes. Look, everyone knows the West Coast spread. The Kansas City Chiefs playbook is like super OP. If you're wanting to like develop a quarterback, like this is the easiest way to do it. And then we're just gonna go with the Tampa 2. We're gonna use the Colts playbook because I think it's probably slightly better as far as Tampa 2 defenses goes. Okay, so after we do that, let's go in and kind of take a look at the rosters real quick and see what we need to work out. So at the top, you've got you got Larry Tunsil and you got Brandon Cooks. Both are 28. Both are going to start regressing. They both have big contracts on them. So I think these are two guys we're probably going to look to trade and try to get some trade value back on them because I don't think they're going to be long-term fits for us. Like I said, they're both going to start regressing really quickly. And they come with a massive cap hit. So I think maybe we just this first season we just kind of eat that penalty and get what we can out of them, right? So we're gonna go ahead and add both these guys to the trade block here, and see what we come up with. Jerry Hughes is another one. I don't know that he's our long-term solution. He's 34, left end. Some of these other guys for now might be okay, kind of keep around. Running wise, Marlon Mack's he's a 1,000-yard rusher. He's just had some injury problems last few seasons. So I think he could be relatively good here. We'll probably start Damien Pierce though. I think, just because he's a younger guy, he's a rookie over the other two. But I don't think either one of these are long-term solutions. Davis Mills is probably a short-term solution. He's got the QB of the future tag, but at the same time, I think in real life the Texans will probably look to move on and this offseason and try to find somebody in the draft of because Lovie Smith's probably going to want his own guy, but he's played well comparably with what he's got as a team, so. If he struggles this year, I see them easily moving on pretty quickly. And the wide receiver, we've got a couple young guys down here. They just drafted John Mechie the third, who I think is easily going to be their number one guy. Nico Collins they got last year, we'll see what happens. Like I said, Brandon Cooks is clearly their best receiver, but like I said, I don't think he's a long-term solution. I think he's one of those guys that we get rid of his contract and we trade him and hopefully we can get some good draft picks for him. Philip Dorsett's probably somebody we'll probably look to cut just so we can clear the depth chart a little bit. And that way it's a little easier for, John Mechie and Nico Collins to get that experience that we want to hopefully develop them. Looking at tight end, Brevin Jordan's, probably not our long-term solution there either. Maybe we'll sign somebody. Maybe we'll draft somebody. I really, I don't know. I don't see him being a long-term there. The rest of the O-line, they just drafted, Kenyon Green. He's pretty solid. Like he's a good, solid interior lineman that I think is going to help this team, and I think he's going to be really good. It's just, probably a good player on a bad team kind of thing, right? So. I think they're probably hoping that Larry Tunsil and him get that left side protected a little bit better. Davis Mills a little bit more time, help him win the run game. But again, I don't think it's a long-term thing, right? Um, Justin Britt again, he's a bridge player. He's not probably one that's going to be sticking around for very long. So it's probably they're going to look to upgrade that position as well. And again, with pretty much the entire right side of the offensive line. Titus Howard is somebody that I'll probably look to cut because I'm pretty sure at the end of this year he comes with a pretty massive cap hit. And for a player who's 26 going on 27, who's only a 71, we can easily find somebody in the draft to fit that position, and probably even fit that position later in the draft. We don't have to spend like a first-round draft pick on a guy. The defensive side of the ball, like I said, Jerry Hughes, Mario Addison are probably both guys that won't be here very long. There's a lot of guys that we're going to get rid of. I do think Jonathan Greenard is one of those that could be could be a solid piece for us. He's young, got a lot of talent. Kind of fits the scheme. Their defensive tackles is probably a position we're going to need to upgrade as well. Linebackers, again, is another one that we're probably going to need to upgrade. I probably am going to get rid of Christian Kirksey as well. Because I think Christian Harris, who's the rookie they just drafted out of Alabama, he's really going to be their starter at that position. And again, I think Blake Cashman is probably going to be the better choice over Camus here. They just drafted Derek Stingley, who, in my opinion, could be the best corner in the draft. Like LSU is known for putting out tremendous defensive backs. You got Steven Nelson, who's 29, and Desmond King, who's 27. Both these guys will probably look to get traded as well, trying to get some draft capital as well. You got here in the safeties, you got Jalen Petre, who's going to be a day one starter for them as a rookie at safety. Got a lot of talent, and I think he'll play pretty well. I don't know, don't know that much about him, as far as like a player goes, but like I said, I think he'll be a solid starter. And then you have Eric Murray, who's another player who's aging at safety that we'll probably look to replace as well. As far as like draft capital goes, like they've got 2 first-round picks already for this upcoming season, and 2/3 via the Cleveland deal for Deshaun Watson and stuff. So they've got some stuff, and I think we're gonna look to add some more as well, definitely. So, based on these 2 players, and we'll probably see what we can get out of some of the other ones. I'm just gonna go ahead and add a couple more. Like I said, Jerry Hughes, I don't know that we'll get anybody for, like, as far as like offers on. Let's go ahead and go into the next week here in preseason really quickly and just see what our trade offers we get on some of these guys. And here's the thing with Madden. Wow, nobody offered. Interesting. But as I was saying, like, here's the thing about Madden. Like, I've noticed that some of these trade offers are kind of broken, right? Okay, we got one. Who's it on? Larry Tunsil. All right. 28-year-old, 88 left tackle. Let's see who we can get, right? And see how, like, some of these are broken. These are some of these guys that, like, I wouldn't see them trading, right? Like, our pain's pretty. That's one that I tempted on. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift is being offered by the Lions for Larry Tunsil. I don't think that's happening. That's never gonna happen. A second and a third, and Christian Barmore could be the one I go with. That gives us a really good young left defensive tackle and a second and a third round pick in this year and next year. Travis Etienne's probably not going anywhere in Cleveland. Like like they just got and like the Eagles. Like Eagles just gotten paid Brown. Like that's they're not doing that trade. Um Same thing with the Colts. Colts aren't getting rid of their Pro Bowl corner, slot corner. Like Kenny Moore's a beast. Um Although the first round draft pick and Juju's interesting. Juju's still young. It is the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's going to be a later first round pick, but it's a first round draft pick in general. It's something we could use to trade up with. And then getting Juju is just a pretty decent young wide receiver. He does TikTok, whatever. It doesn't bother me in Madden. Like Antoine Winfield Jr., Christian Sutton's not going anywhere. Like Kareem Hunt, this is a trade they could probably actually would consider doing in real life, believe it or not. I don't know that I want that. I don't know the first round draft pick's that big of a deal. I think the middle of the rounds. I actually think I'm going to go with the New England's. I think getting the defensive tackle is going to be really good. And then a second and a third is going to be, having that draft capital in the middle of the round. You can still find some decent players a lot of times in there. I think that's the one we're going to go with. I mean, I could have probably got more had I done a manual trade, but I like to see what I get offered. So we still have the big one that needs to go, another big one to go. So clear out the trade. So we got 2 more trade offers. Cool. One for Jerry Hughes and one for Brandon Cooks. So let's see what we get for Jerry Hughes. He's 34 years old. I don't expect this to be much. Eric Fisher and a 7th round pick to the Colts, which is in the division. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to give them a weapon. I mean, Jerry Hughes, I think, started with the Colts, actually. I'll probably manually do that one. See what we get for Brandon Cooks. I expect this one to be better, actually. Rosso's still young. And a 2nd round pick. I think that's it. I think it's this one with the Bills. Gives me a good young left end. And a 2nd round pick and a 7th round pick this year. Even though they're later, probably going to be later rounds because the Bills are good. Getting that, I think that's a good deal for that one. And then I think we're going to manually do Jerry Hughes here. One of those teams. I think maybe I can get a 2nd for him. No, I can get a 3rd though, probably. Yeah. Take a 3rd this year for him. That's for an aging player, like that's pretty solid. We're back here. Here's kind of we're just kind of gonna go over the roster one more time. This is our set roster. It's gonna be for this season. Like I said, you got Davis Mills at quarterback, Marlon Mack starting at running back, Mitchie the 3rd, and I end up picking up Osborne in free agency, just kind of fill the roster out. But I think I'm actually gonna play. Like he's gonna be our slot receiver, actually our number 3. So I think I'm gonna put Nico Collins above him, and then play him in the slot. Offensive line, the biggest one is Green. He's the one that we're gonna look to really kind of hopefully progress this season. Everyone else is probably going to be expendable. Same thing with a tight end. We'll probably look to sign a tight end. Going to the defense, you got Russo and Grenard at our ends. Belmore and Blacklock as our deep tackles. And then we're gonna move Stingley to the top here of our order, and then I think Desmond King as well. And then we're probably gonna have Steven Nelson as our 3rd corner. I'm not sure who's gonna play the slot. Maybe King, or actually no, I think it'll be probably Steven. It'll probably be Nelson. And then, like I said, I want to move Christian Harris back up to the top. Kruger Hill and Cashman as our outside linebackers. Retreat starting, and Murray as well there. our edge rushers, Roaster and Greenland. I think we're gonna have Steven Nelson here. Osborne again. Um, our edges. And then Christian Kirksey, he's gonna be our sub linebacker. Decent role for him. I think he'll be all right there. And then like I said, three-headed kind of monster at running back with Burkhart being our third down back and Pierce being our power back. And then like I said, Osborne there again as our slot receiver. But yeah, that's the lineup for this first season. Let's go ahead and get into week 1 here. So best thing to do scouting wise is week 3. You set your regional focus, and then mid-season, so you set your national scouting focus, and then you get at week 11, you get to pick individual ones. So, 1-0, lost to the Colts. It happens. So we're gonna go to the week 3 real quick, set our scout, and then we'll sim to the mid-season. All right. So let's set our regional focus here. What we want to scout. So in the West, I think we want to scout defensive. Defensive is not necessarily a need. So I think we're actually going to go ahead and scout running backs on this one. Let's see, Central. Our national scout's probably going to be offensive tackle. So I think we go outside linebacker on this one. Even though it is actually a weakness for this as well. It's also a strength. Surprisingly. So that'll at least get us decent scouting on outside linebackers for the Central region. We're definitely going to do offensive tackle on this one because that's going to hit 2 of the 3 strengths on this one, and then I think we're going to go wide receiver on this one, and then we're going to head to the midseason mark. So I'll see you guys there. And we're at the midseason mark, and we haven't won a game. We're 0-6. Which is fine, because it's going to give us a high draft pick, which is kind of what we want in this rebuild. Like, it's Houston Texans, they're awful. Let's go ahead and set our national scouting focus. We need to build our defense. So let's go outside linebackers on this one instead of tackles. Because we're scouting tackles later on. And then we got some players that looking to resign. Let's see who we have here. Nope, not going to resign you. I'm honestly probably not going to re-sign anybody. We're not bringing Marlon Mack back. Not bringing Camus back. Not bringing you back. Actually, I'm not going to bring any of these guys back, honestly. And just kind of clearing the roster. Essentially, like, Burkhead's gone. Like, we're going to be down to, like, nobody. They actually have a lot of guys that are on, like, 1-year deals. So, like, we're not going to have a whole lot of anybody, actually. Which is all right, because like I said, it's a rebuild, so we're gonna look to rebuild and go from there. I'm gonna upgrade the players real quick, and we're gonna go to week 11, so we can kind of see what we have as far as like on the draft class goes, and take a look there to see who at the top of the draft we want to focus on. So we're definitely gonna just kind of go through here. Honestly, if I'm picking number 1 overall. I may take this left tackle, although I'm not gonna focus on him because I want to focus on and find stuff out about players I don't necessarily know, right? I'm probably not gonna look. Maybe this left tackle is probably a good one to look at. Probably this one is right tackle as well. Try to get some focus on those. Maybe this corner. See how he plays out. Halfback. Actually, I think we'll scout this running back. Try and get an idea of him. Yeah, so we're gonna do these 2 tackles and see if we can't get some more info on those guys, and then I running back. And then that's actually it. So I'm actually gonna see you at the playoffs. All right, we're back here after heading into the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs. We're 2-15. Won 2 games. That's actually probably accurate of the Houston Texans, how they're gonna be. They may win a couple more than that. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot you can say there. It's fine. We're awful. So we're gonna upgrade players again here. But yeah, that's pretty rough. Let's take a look at the stats for the year. Worst offense in the league. And okay, it's not gonna give me what we ranked in defense. Okay. So Davis Mills, actually not bad. 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, only 59% completion, 4,000 yards. Maybe the Chiefs' playbook's not as OP this year, or we just had awful talent. No running game whatsoever. I mean, we were splitting carries between 3 guys, kind of. 16 carries total. And then Brevin Jordan at tight end put up some numbers. That's not okay. Respect. KJ Osborne, John Mechie, both had solid years. And then Nico Collins also had pretty decent years as far as receiving goes. Considering how awful this team is, those aren't bad. I'll take those numbers. Camus led the team in tackles with 151 tackles, 6 for loss. Impressive. Let's see who got sacks. Split sacks between Christian Barmore and Grenard, 6. We definitely need to get more pressure. Kruger's with 5 of his own. Interceptions. Christian Kirk's had 3. Blake Cashman had 3. Linebackers putting up picks. I like to see it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, we got some work to do. Worst offense in the league. And then, like I said, for some reason, not giving our defense a break. I assume it's probably awful as well. All right, we're here at the start of free agency. Looks like we have about $107 million in cap space that we can spend. I don't know that we're going to spend a whole lot in free agency. Typically, there's not a whole lot of free agents that are interested in, like, awful teams, unless we, like, super overpay them. And I don't know that's what I want to do. Considering, we've got some draft picks, some high draft picks. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see who we have available. Typically, Darwin James is always here, and he's actually interested in the team. So that's definitely someone that we might look to make an offer on. How many teams are interested? 0 offers. He has 0 offers right now, so we're going to offer him a team-friendly deal for 3 years, and hopefully we can get him. That'd be a pretty big get. Odell Beckham, I'm not probably going to be good at bringing in. Mike Gesicki. Yeah, these guys, even though he's interested, I'm probably, like I said, not interested in Odell. Elgton Jenkins, he's interested. Man, he's 27, so he's actually going to start to progress relatively soon. He's got 3 teams that are interested. Maybe I offer him a 3-year deal at, like, neutral money. Maybe that's enough to get him. And we're green, so, like, we're top there. 28, 84, and he's going to look to regress, so maybe no on Yannick. CJ Gardner-Johnson is here, although we're looking at Darwin James, so I'm probably not going to bring him in at safety. I'm probably not going to bring in a free safety. All right, let's just kind of look at running backs. Dave Montgomery, Devin Singletary. Like, Evan Gordon's the only one interested, and he's the one I don't want. Marlon Mack's the only one interested, and he's the one I don't want. Let's look at wide receivers. Juju's here. He's kind of interested, but also kind of not. McCall Hardman could be interesting one to bring in at receiver. Super fast guy, freaking run like the wind. He's only 25 and he's interested. No one's offering on him. No team's interested. I mean, team-friendly deal at 3 years. Yeah, bring him in. Let's look at tight end. Interested, not interested. Eric Ebron, 30, not interested. One Brother State. Irv Smith Jr. could be interesting tight end to bring in. He's 75 overall. Star development. He's 25. We could probably get him close to an 80 pretty quickly. Is anybody interested? Teams are interested. So we're going to offer him team-friendly deal with 3 years. Looking at offensive linemen, there really isn't any that Eric McCoy's interested. It could be interesting. I wish she was a little bit more interested in the team. We're offering on Elgton Jenkins, like, even though I'm kind of iffy on that one, honestly. Let's take a look at linebackers. Okay, so we have some middle linebackers. Some of them aren't interested. Josh Allen's here, and he's tempting. He's not interested at all. He's one that I would like to have him come in and just play defensive end. Yeah, I don't think it's. He's not interested. We're gonna have to way overpay him. So I don't think we're gonna do that. As far as corners go, not really a whole lot that are interested, other than some of the older guys. So probably nothing there. I think we're just gonna stick with, honestly, with these 4 targets, and all these guys are interested. We should be able to get them relatively cheap, so we don't kill our draft or our cap. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do. You got 3 player evals that we can do and kind of adjust from there in this first round. And honestly, these may be the only 4 guys I end up signing. So let's go ahead and do player evals and see who we get. So it looks like we got Jenkins to sign. That's awesome. So it looks like the Bears came in with a higher offer. We're still one on this one, still one on this one. So Darwin James, we're gonna have to give a little bit more money to. Definitely, I mean, I want Darwin James. I definitely want Darwin James. So let's go player friendly, and I think let's go down a little bit on the money, the signing, and see what that gets us. That puts us way up there. We actually come down a little bit more on it, believe it or not. 5-year deal. He'll start to regress, but he's 95 overall. He'll be fine for a while. So I think he wants a bigger deal. Let's go 10-5 and 7. Or 10-7 and yeah. Okay, that gets us a lot closer. Both these guys were still top offers on. So let's go ahead and do our next eval and see what we get. And I think we just signed them all. It's awesome. Great. I like it. And I think that's actually probably all we're going to do in free agency. Is sign these 4 guys. I'll probably look to the draft to fill the rest of the spots. Found a Panthers. Okay. We get the 2nd round pick from the Panthers for him? We can. I don't just think that happens in real life. And I think that's actually it for free agency. So we're going to we're going to sim a couple weeks to just before the draft. Now, the week before the draft, you do get another set of like 3 people that you can focus on in scouting. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get to that point. All right. So scouting private workouts. Let's see who we want to bring in for private workouts. Typically with these, what I like to do is I like to bring in guys who are like top of the draft, who like say have 95%, just to get their true talent, if I can. On guys that like, so we have 1st round draft pick, like he's true talent on this one. We can see right tackle's probably not going to draft this guy. Left tackle's not bad. So I definitely want to look at this left tackle and try to get his true talent. His top skills are rough for a receiver. I don't know that I'm going to do that. Go ahead and get the true talent for this right tackle here. And then where's that running back we looked at? Did he fall off? He's a top 5 talent. I think we definitely want to bring this guy in for sure, or draft him. I think we can probably get him with our 2nd pick of the draft. Let's go look at a corner. Who's the top corner? Nick Jackson. We'll bring you in, and let's go ahead and start the draft here. We're gonna be drafting overall, like number 1 overall, probably. If we're not, I'll be shocked. Yeah, number 1 overall. We also have the 13th pick, so we can probably get that that running back with the 13th pick. And I wish it was a better offensive linemen. For some reason, are usually relatively like low as far as like talent goes. Like overall talent, relatively low. I think we probably get him at 13. I think we're gonna go draft the left tackle round 1 to 2. There's gonna be a lower overall, but his upside's probably like, I'm hoping, is superstar, right? And it's Notre Dame, so they have a tendency to pop out like really good offensive linemen. Hidden development. I think we got our left tackle for the future with this guy. Hopefully he's a superstar. And we're going to go ahead and sim to our next pick. And I think I'm going to look at that running back. I think we're going to draft the running back number 1, or that first. Hopefully he's still available. Coming down, he is. Awesome. Top 5 talent. He's a receiving back. He's 21 years old. Like, he's young. This guy's probably going to be a stud. stud running back. Hidden development trait. Yeah, I really like this pick. He's our running back of the future. Fits the scheme too, which is great. Let's go and see second round. All right, so we're looking at second round and a couple free safeties here. It's not really a need. I'm not really looking at quarterback. So like I said, Davis Mills didn't play terribly. Get him some talent, he might play better. We draft a center. We don't really know a whole lot about the center. What's his physicals like? Good strength, great agility, elite change of direction. It's not terrible. He's probably not bad of a pick. Just kind of looking at like what's here as far as like talent goes, and like looking at their top skills. I think we're gonna go with the center. Gonna help that offensive lineman. I mean, if the other two are C's, he's still pretty good. So, would have liked to seen a better dev trait, but that's all right. We're gonna pick at 14 again. We really don't know a lot about this right tackle. I mean, we're essentially kind of rebuilding the entire offensive line. Poor strength, yeah, he's bad. We're not taking him. Strength on it would be their top. Press is awful. Catch zone's not bad. If his man coverage is a C, that's not terrible. I think we take this corner. Let's look at see what his physicals are. Is he a physical? Great across the board. Is jumping solid. Good speed. Let's go ahead and we'll draft the cornerback. Again, like to have seen a better dev trait here in the second round. Yeah. Middle linebacker. Well, great acceleration. He's a pretty good physical athlete, and his zone's an A. Tyler Tyson, and he's a hidden dev trait. I think we got a new middle linebacker, starting middle linebacker there. Then we're picking again at number 30. Saying we do need outside linebackers, and so maybe some of these middle linebackers could move to outside linebacker for us. Look at this guy's overalls, like his physicals. Poor strength, got elite speed, good acceleration, elite agility. Just another freak athlete. Got A+ zone. Being a Tampa 2, you want and another hidden dev trait. Cool. So we'll just come down to who we put at outside, who we move to inside linebacker, or keep it inside linebacker. Just physicals like solid speed, elite acceleration, A zone, man coverage B. Joey Steele. Welcome to the team. No hidden dev trait, but I think he'll be overall not too bad. Okay, so we're getting into that third round, and I think we're going to start looking to like fill some of our position needs as far as like depth on some stuff here. Which that's kind of boring. Kind of going through. So I may just cut some of this part out and see what we get. So yeah, if I cut this out, then we'll see you at the end of the draft, and we'll kind of go over the roster at that point. All right, we're back. Kind of just finished up the draft there. Let's look at the draft recap and let's see how we did. Not terrible. Like he's 73 overall, but he started development. Offensive, great running back, 75. Another starting 75 overall, 74. Yeah, we did really well. And then we got into the third round, and look, we found this Kevin Peterson, who actually may be the starting center over the guy we drafted in the second round, actually, because he actually has a better. So the 73, he's a 73 overall, but he actually has the hidden dev trait, and he's a scheme fit. So I think I may actually start him, at center, and then maybe we look to move this center, to a guard. He definitely fits the size for a guard. Probably right guard. We didn't do too bad. Let's look at the entire draft class and let's see how well we did overall wise. 77 overall defensive tackle. Went number 9 overall. Not bad. We got the third best player. So it was tied for the third best player at 13th overall and running back. Overall, not a bad draft. No one that was in the 80s or higher. But overall, not bad. I think we did well. We have a really good draft class. So I'm gonna go into the week 1 of the preseason. Then I'll probably sign some guys to fill the roster out, and I'll see you at the start there. Okay, so here we are back with the starting lineup for the next season. Still starting Davis Mills at quarterback. We got our rookie running back, Hardman, receiver, Mitchie at number 2, and then Nico Collins 3. Offensive line's actually not bad. I think we're actually set at offensive line for a while. The only one that doesn't have a star or better development is our right guard. But he's a 76 overall. So that's still a good player, and he maybe get that dev trait going in as a in the future. Definitely right tackle's a good spot for us. Left tackle, hopefully this guy he's on the as far as overall goes on the lower end, but if he's got star development and number 1 overall draft pick left tackle, it's going to anchor our offensive line for the future to come. Going on the defense, nothing really changed up front as far as our defense goes. Our defensive front goes. Still going DJ Stingler over as our number 1 corner. And then King and Nelson 3 again. Trey as a starting free safety. Adding Darwin James to anchor that defensive secondary. Then our linebackers. I decided to keep Christian Harris in the middle just because he's the as far as the 3 linebackers I drafted, of the 2 linebackers I did draft, he was the better. Seemed like to be the better agility or speed rush or better athlete. That's what I was looking for. Tyson and Winters as our outside linebackers, also both scheme fits, also star better development. So it's gonna be big. Just to get into experience, Tyson, he's the same overall, actually, as Harris. And we're gonna have King at the slot, and then Nico Collins in the slot as our slot receiver, and then Pierce at running back, and then Aldridge at running back. But again, nothing really changed there. We're definitely, as far as like talent goes, a lot better. So I think we're good. So we're gonna go ahead and sim to the start of the regular season. I'm gonna set my scouts, and then I'll probably see you at the mid-season mark. In between there, I'll probably set my scout. Like I said, I'll set my scouts. I'll set my region scouting how I want them. And then we'll go to the mid-season mark and see what we're doing, and see to look to who needs to come back and who doesn't. And we're back at the mid-season mark, and we are 1-6. Yeah. Still having a rough go of it. Not a whole lot we can do about it. We're focusing pretty much heavily this scouting season on cornerbacks and wide receivers. Because I think everything else is relatively good. We just need guys to develop them. We need guys to get better. So we're gonna go and set our scouting or national scouting focus. Change it to probably wide receiver. Hopefully we can find some good wideouts in there. We still have a ton of cap space. We didn't sign a whole lot of guys this offseason. But I think we're this coming season, I think it's one of those we're gonna look to sign some players in the free agency that may be big that's out there. Kind of gives a spot. So it looks like who we have coming back. I don't think we're bringing back Desmond King. Actually, I think we'll probably look to trade him. Jonathan Greenland, 26 overall, wants to come back, 6'9", but he's only normal development. Steven Nelson also wants to come back, not interested in re-signing anywhere. The fullback, just so I don't have to worry about the fullback position anymore. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're gonna try to trade real quick. His top 3 and Steven Nelson, Jonathan Greenland, and Desmond King, and see what value we can get out of them. And we get another first-round pick. So we got 3 first-round picks for this coming season. And we're back at the playoffs. And we missed the playoffs, but if you look at our record down there, we went 8-9. Somehow the team turned it around. Maybe those players we had traded were just bad apples that kind of were spoiling everything for them. I don't know. It's Madden. So 8-9. So we're right there. Couple more key pieces, and I bet we're pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade our players real quick. And then let's go look at some of the stats and see what we get. I did, as I was going through and doing the scouting things a little bit, I did see there's some really good wide receivers that are like super talented. Hopefully we've got the draft picks now to go and get those guys. Let's go look at our stats real quick and see how Davis Mills, 31 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, still only 59% passing. Maybe we look to move on from Davis Mills this season. Marquise Aldridge, 1,000-yard rusher, 5 touchdowns. Would have liked to have seen that higher, but not bad. Averaging 4 yards a carry. I like it. 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. Irv Smith Jr. at tight end put up a monster season. I mean, we're using the Chiefs playbook, so Travis Kelce is always going to have a lot of receiving yards there. Nico Collins in the slot and Markel Hardman also having 1,000-yard years. And John Minchie having a pretty solid year as well. 7 touchdowns. It's not too bad. Defensively, let's see, here we got Christian Harris with 151 tackles, 10 for loss. Right outside the linebacker, Tyler Tyson with 100 tackles, 112 tackles. And our cornerback, Derek Stingley Jr., putting up a 100 tackle season as well. Let's look at our sacks. How we have 10 sacks from Greg Russo. Good. That's solid. I like seeing 10 sacks. Having a 10 sack season is pretty good. 21 tackles for loss. Anything, when we're getting double-digit sacks, that's really good. I do think we probably need to find another pass rusher at right end because, like I said, we just got rid of the other one. Interceptions. Derek Stingley Jr. with 4. Christian Harris, Tyler Tyson, and Chris Harris Jr., who we ended up signing after the trades to fill those roster spots, having 3 tackles and having 3 interceptions and only half of the season. Derwin James putting up decent numbers, having a pick. I'd like to see the interceptions a little bit higher. 27th best offense in the league, and they're going to give us our defense. Does not give us our defensive ranking. That's all right. Like, we got some, that first season is really just get the talent in the door, build. Now we have some talent. Now we just got to develop that talent, and then add some few pieces in free agency to get that talent absolute best that we can get it at. We're gonna spend our style points. I'll see you guys at the off season and at the start of free agency. All right, here we are at the start of the re-signing period for free agency. For us, and I'm probably not gonna look to bring anybody back again this year. Although maybe we'll bring Alex Pope back, just so we don't have to worry about signing a guy. And he stays, that's fine, no big deal. Give him a neutral deal. But everybody else, I think we can do without. Not worried about it. Got a ton of cap room, so this is, I think, of the year we look to spend in free agency. Hopefully, a lot of times I've noticed with Madden, and especially this year, is there's usually a ton of guys in free agency the second season that could be huge playmakers and like change the course. So I've noticed Justin Herbert's been in free agency. Sometimes Jonathan Taylor's in free agency. Nick Bosa's in free agency. A lot of times, like in this second season. So let's see who's here. I said they haven't got some of the guys that have gotten new contracts haven't been updated yet. Which, like I said, that's why we were able to get Darwin James because his new contract's not in Madden yet. I imagine they'll have that in there pretty quickly or pretty soon. So let's go take a look and see who's in here and who we might look to bring in. So, such good talent at the top here. Like I was saying, Nick Bosa. We're probably gonna have to overspend to get him because he's just not interested. Justin Jefferson is in here. Don't really need offensive linemen. but like Tristan Wirfs is here. Justin Herbert's here. If I can, Mike Evans, probably wouldn't look to get him. Problem is like all these guys at the top aren't interested in our team. It's unfortunate, you know. So we're gonna have to overpay to get some of these guys. But I think I'm gonna make an offer on Nick Bosa, and I'll probably player friendly for 4-year deal. I mean, we have the cap space to kind of overpay a little bit. See, that puts us at the top offer by that much. I actually could probably do this. Give him a 4-year deal at neutral money. Still puts us there. Actually, let's do a team-friendly deal on a 4 years and see what that puts us at. That still puts us as the top offer. I think I'm going to look to replace. I think we're going to go. No one's offering on Justin Herbert. So team-friendly deal, 7 years, franchise quarterback. Welcome to the team. Like, we'll sign him easily. And then Rashawn Gary, I'll probably bring him in as well, and he'll be my other defensive end. Next to Nick Bosa. Like, yeah, we have Gregory Rousseau. We could trade him. His contract's coming up soon. Probably won't, you know. So that gives us two very good defensive ends. Only one team is offering. He's really not interested. We'll give him a player-friendly deal or a team-friendly deal and see where that puts us at as far as like our offer. So that puts us at the top offer. We're gonna eval and then see what we get later. Like I said, as we're going down through, I think Justin Jefferson. I think we have to try to bring him in as well. We're getting to the point, and nobody's offering on him. So we can offer him a team-friendly deal for 5 years as well. Like, we've got so much cap space to bring guys in and really kind of set that and kind of just like rebuild this entire offense. No one really inside in. Like, there's like I said, ton of talent here. Defensive tackle is one I want to look at. You got Ed Oliver here, who's a superstar. Dexter Lawrence. I think he's a power rusher. So he fits our scheme. Dexter Lawrence fits our scheme. He's 26. Move him to defensive tackle. Could be a good play. How off is Ed Oliver from? I think maybe we actually do Ed Oliver, honestly. Let's go Ed Oliver. How many people are offering on him? 3. Let's take a look at team friendly. We'll see 4-year deal, team friendly money. Let's see what that puts us at. That doesn't even get us close to the Lions. Lions really want him, so I'm not going to bring him in at this point. But I'm going to look at Dexter Lawrence, and let's see about Dexter Lawrence and see where that gets us. Team friendly money on 3 years. And that doesn't even put us in the ballpark either. Maybe we don't. Second thought, maybe we don't bring in either one of those guys. We need corners. Let's look at cornerbacks and see who's here. And Cameron Dantzler. He's interested. He's young. He could be our slot corner. Also, CJ Henderson's in here. Yeah, he doesn't really fit the scheme. I think we bring in Cameron. Team-friendly money on a 5-year deal. Makes us the top offer. Do we offer on CJ Henderson? We can't. So we've hit our 5 targets for this week. Let's do our evals and see where we're at. We may have to offer some more money to some of these guys. So Nick Bosa, we're still in the first on. Justin Jefferson, we're still first on. Justin Herbert, we're the only offer on. And we're still first on Rashawn Gary. We got Cameron Dantzler, which is nice. We're a little, as far as like Rashawn Gary goes, like we're kind of even on that one. We're still in the hunt. So I think I'm going to offer him a little bit more. Friendly 4 years. Bring it up to 12 and 9. That puts us a little bit further ahead on these. So we're going to do another eval. And we're still number 1 on all these. We also got Nick Bosa. That's huge. We got one more eval to do. And we didn't sign any of them yet. The Broncos coming in on Rashawn Gary and just giving him like the world. Do I really want to freaking... I've got the cap space. Let's see here. Player friendly money. See what that... See if that gets us closer. It makes us a top offer, but he's still more interested in the Broncos. Very player friendly at a 4-year deal. I don't, and I'm out of eval, so I'm gonna leave it there and head to next period. See what we get. We didn't get Rashawn Gary. He ended up going with the Broncos, which that's fine. I mean, we still have Gregory Rosso, so it's not that deep. Like we still had talent there. But we got Nick Bosa, and we're still the only offer on Justin Herbert. But the Vikings are trying to get Justin Jefferson back. I think we're gonna keep it here with neutral, but I think we're gonna up the money a little bit, say 21 million and 11, and see what that does. See if that gives us a little bit of a boot. Nope, it does not. So we'll go 21 and 12. See if that gets us there. Do evals. We got Justin Jefferson. That's huge. Still the only offer on Justin Herbert. He's got to sign at some point, right? And we got Justin Herbert finally. All right. So, I mean, we just signed some extremely good players. So now I'm going to look to actually trade Davis Mills and see what we can get for him. Like, we don't really need him now. Like, he's a solid backup, but like I said, he is a 77 overall quarterback. Like, we're going to get a lot of teams interested. Like, the Bears are always interested. Like, everyone's going to be interested in this guy. It's going to come down to, like, who's interested in him the most. Probably the Buccaneers, right? Like, Tom Brady's probably gone. They really need a quarterback. Here, take Davis Mills. And then we'll see. Give us your 12th overall draft pick. Doesn't give us the 12th overall draft pick, but we can definitely look to we can definitely like get that, I'm sure. Actually, I'm gonna look to see if I can't get the number 1 overall pick. Who has the number 1 overall pick? Not that I need it, but there were some really good talented receivers at the top of the draft. Let's go look at standings real quick. It looks like the Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick. They don't need a quarterback. The Cardinals don't need a quarterback. The Chargers definitely do now. Because, I mean, we just took their quarterback. So, our second round pick. Second round pick does it. So we don't really have a second round pick, but that's fine. We got 3 in the first round. And we now have 3rd overall draft pick. Which I'm probably going to look to take the receiver. So, I'm going to see you guys at the draft. That's pretty much all we're doing. I may look to do some more trading at the top of the draft to see where we're at and see what we get. Just because there was a couple really good receivers at the top of that draft. So we're gonna sim to that, and then we'll see you guys there. See you at the draft. All right, we're here at the start of the draft. Jaguars are on the clock. You know, I don't know that I'm gonna trade up. I think we're just gonna stick at 3 and see what we get. Like I said, receivers were kind of set on. Like getting Justin Jefferson in the offseason is kind of big, but defensive end and tackles maybe we'll get. So left end. So we're on the clock now. Let's take a look. You know, we have the 3rd overall pick. So there's another top 5 true talent wide receiver. There's a couple of them actually that are still here that I could look to draft. I wish that defensive tackle was a little bit better. It's a little rough. But I mean, can't have too many wide receivers, right? So I think we're going to go with, let's take a look here. I think we're probably going to go with Caleb Dillard. Elite speed, elite acceleration. Guy ran at 4.25. Like he's just a burner, man. You know, B is across the board on all this stuff. Like he's just a stud. Wow. You have a guy who's a stud, who has 99 speed, 97 acceleration, and you give him a normal dev? A normal dev? Come on, Madden. All right, we're here at the next pick, our next pick. I honestly don't know what we're going to do here. Ton of receivers. Need a running back. I wish the cornerbacks were a little bit better. This draft class, from what I saw, this one's not terrible. He's a zone. He's a man guy. Maybe we go there. Let's take a look at the outside linebacker, who we could just potentially move to defensive end. Decent speed, solid acceleration, good strength. We don't know what his fancy move is. We don't know what his power move is. If his power move's a B, we're good. If the D, we're pretty upset. He's a maybe. He's a maybe. Like, I really need another defensive tackle, and I kind of really wish this defensive tackle was better. But unfortunately, he's not. Look at the corner. His zone's a C, which isn't terrible. Great acceleration, solid speed. Not a great athlete, but solid athlete. His press is good. His catching's really good. We could probably get... He's further down the board. We could probably get him later. I think we're going to go ahead and take the left outside linebacker, move him to defensive end. Normal dev trait again. And I think our next pick's actually going to be... Yeah, I think that dev trait is rough. I think we're going to go ahead and take this corner, head dev trait. That's what we want to see in the first round. And then we don't have another pick till the third round. And then we're kind of at the point where we're just filling needs and roster spot need, what the team needs as far as like depth. So I think we're going to end the draft here. I'll pick you guys up in the next start of the next preseason. I'll set the rosters and my scouting and stuff, and we'll see you. We'll see you there. All right, we're here at the end of the draft. Let's take a look at the draft recap and see what kind of class this was. I'm curious to see what that wide receiver was like. So, got a really good wide receiver. Unfortunately, did not have the dev trait that I was looking for on that one. But we can still develop him. He's burning speed, and so like he'll probably be a return guy. Maybe play in the slot. Not quite sure yet. We're gonna move this outside linebacker to defensive end, and see if that gives him a bit of a boost. Got another good corner here, and a right guard who I just randomly picked in the third round. He's got a dev trait too, so maybe we start him over the guy we drafted last year that we moved from center. And then we got another good wide receiver here in the fourth round, who actually has a dev trait, I think, as well. So I think he actually is our slot guy. Believe it or not. I think we start him in slot. He's a slot receiver. Drafted a quarterback to fill in and a wide receiver. And we also got a kicker who has a hidden dev trait. So that's 70 overall. So that's interesting too. Let's take a look at the entire draft class here. See what it was like. 81 overall playmaker, Josh Carter. That would have been pretty huge to get, actually. But we got the third best player in the draft, or fifth best player in the draft as well. We got him in the fourth round, and he's going to be our slot guy. So he's going to see a lot of targets, so that's huge. So I think we play, we play Hardman, we play Justin Jefferson, obviously, at number 1, Hardman at 2, and J.D. Hill at 3. Or maybe we look to get rid of Hardman. We just signed him, and we played the other rookie. I don't know, because we did draft him so high. I don't know. We'll see how we want to play this out. We're gonna see you guys. I'm gonna set the roster. I'll see you guys at the start of the season. Okay. Okay. So I've decided to go ahead and trade Nico Collins to the Ravens for a third round draft pick. Going through the roster, I decided, I realized he's just kind of out of place, didn't really fit anymore. So I was like, let's go ahead and trade him, and so, try and get some value back. All right, we're here with the lineup for this next season. As you can see, it's a little weird, right? So J.D. Hill, who was like the fourth best player in the draft, when I drafted him, had a hidden dev trait, and now for some reason he's a normal development. I don't know what that's all about. But he's gonna be our slot receiver down the line. We got, Justin Herbert, X Factor at quarterback. You can see our rookie running back from last year, who's a superstar, has superstar dev. Justin Jefferson, Marco Hardman. I think we're really good at receiver now. Like, our depth is really good. Irv Smith Jr. is now a superstar dev. We drafted this right guard in like the fourth round, and I think actually because he's got that hidden dev trait, I'm going to start him over our other right guard. You can see the number 1 overall pick we got last year, left tackle. Only had a star dev. A little disappointing on that one. Would have liked to have gotten superstar out of that one, but It is what it is. Defensively, you got Nick Bosa, Christian Barmore, and Booker, defensive tackle, and Greg Russo's now, as you can see, a superstar dev trait. That's huge for him. But Nick Bosa is going to just freaking be a sack machine. Linebackers and secondaries and safeties are still the same. Derek Stingley Jr. and now Detzler is going to be our corner. We're probably going to play the rookie Tolbert at as our slot corner. Going into our specialist, third down back's going to be here. Yeah. So JD Hill's going to be our slot corner because that's actually his or that's actually his scheme fit, his archetype. So we're going to play him at slot. Tolbert's going to be here as well, as our slot corner. And then Tyson's our sub linebacker. And our rush ends are Russo and Bosa, as they should be. I forgot to mention special teams. The rookie wide receiver at the third overall pick that we got, just because he's got that stupid 99 overall speed at 97, like he's just a burner. We're just gonna play him as our kick and punt return guy. And he's still number 3 on the depth chart. So if someone gets hurt or something, whatever. It's one of those things. I don't know. I expect this to be a much better year for us. We've signed some great players, drafted really well. We may see how this hopefully we can hit the playoffs this year. We'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and send to the midseason mark and see what we got. I'm expecting a good year this year. I really am. All right, we're here at the midseason mark, and as you can see, we are 5-2. Huge turnaround for us. That's a big jump. Big jump. Now that we're kind of took us 2 off seasons and some free agent stuff, spent some money. We're kind of right there at that point of being a really good team for the future. So we're gonna see if we make the playoffs. We're gonna go do our national scouting, and then see if there's anybody that we want to bring back. I know Russo should be here, and because he's got that superstar dev trait, but I'm debating also to call it here, depending on how this rest of this half of the season goes. If we make the playoffs, if we go deep into the playoff run, I think that's probably what we're probably gonna end it on this one. Then maybe we'll do one more. So we got $36 million of cap to play with. Gregory Rosso doesn't want to come back, and I honestly, I don't know that I want to bring him back. Same thing with Christian Belmore. I definitely want to bring him back, but if they're not interested and I've got to super overpay him, then I don't know. Let's go player friendly, 6-year deal. Excited to sign, so he stays. Cool. I found that they typically stay. Same thing with Belmore. Let's go neutral and see if we can get him on a 3-year deal. Need a bigger offer to overcome. Okay, well, we'll sign you. Jordan, or Brevin Jordan, I don't really care about. The same thing with the rest of these guys. Just not interested. Bringing these guys back. We can find replacements for them later. So I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys at the end of at the start of the playoffs. I have a feeling we're gonna be in the playoffs. So we'll catch up with you guys there. All right, we're back here at the playoffs, and you can see we made the playoffs at 11-6, and we're playing the Titans. We won the division, so we get the home game, home field advantage. Should be interesting. So real quick before we get too deep into that, let's take a look at our the stats for this season and see how we did. See how Herbert did, how our offense overall, 9th overall offense, and 10th best defense in the league. Take a look at our passing, 5,100 yards, 44 touchdowns, 7 7 interceptions, 66% completion percentage. Just having a monster year, Justin Herbert. That's MVP type numbers. He may won the MVP. Rushing, 1,000-yard rusher. You know, in this offense, running backs really aren't the focal point. They're used as receivers. So you get that. I suspect we're gonna have a lot of receivers. Irv Smith Jr. having 100 catches, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. J.D. Hill, 1,300 yards. Justin Jefferson, 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns. Markel Hardman, 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. Even our running back caught almost 400 yards. But you can see our 2 catches, 22 yards. That's all I got. That's all I got. But he was our return guy, so let's look at our defense and see how we did. Tyson leading the team in tackles again with 130. Same thing with Christian Harris. Darwin James had 99. Look at our sack numbers. 15 sacks for Nick Bosa. Greg Russo with 7. 5 for Christian Barmore. Quick note, Barmore's probably not coming back. I think he decided he's going to be free agency, and I'm not going to spend spend my franchise tag on him. So there's that. Greg Russo we did bring back. So he has that expiring contract tag, but we signed him back, I'm pretty sure, right? Alex Talbot with 5. He was our rookie. Good rookie there. 3 for Christian Harris. Tyson is 2. Cameron James has 2. Darwin James is 1. Derek Singler is 1. And Michael Griffin the second, who's our backup safety, had 1. Interesting. Let's go look at the awards. That's weekly awards. I didn't want that. Our yearly awards. Let's see how we did. Justin Herbert won MVP, as we kind of suspected. Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar Jackson, which Justin Herbert was 6th in Offensive Player of the Year. I don't know how you get Offensive Player of the Year and win MVP. Cooper Kupp, the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Rashawn Gary, got a massive contract, but they went 4-13. He must have had a monster year in sacks. Nick Bosa, 7th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, J.D. Hill. That's got to give him a dev trade boost for sure. You kind of like to see that. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Alex Talbot as well. So, going to have a dev trade boost on that guy as well. So, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our players real quick. Spend these points, and then we'll see how we do in the playoffs here. We're going to sim the wild card where you can see how we do. And we beat the Titans 37-34. It's a close game. So now we got the Patriots coming up. We're going to upgrade our players real quick. And we lose to the Patriots 41-23. Looking at the team, we've kind of set it up pretty well. Like, our biggest weakness is honestly right now is just that defensive tackle spot. That's something we can look to address this coming off season. But actually I think I'm going to end it there. Like, we're clearly a team that's going to be good for the future and for a while. We've kind of rebuilt them. They, overall they're 86, and they're only going to get better because we're so young. Got a lot of young talent on this team, so it's one of those teams that we can just keep doing this, and we're just going to we'll probably eventually get a Super Bowl. But I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks for guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope you enjoy the next rebuild I do. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.